Hi and welcome to my channel CodeMakeLifeSimple. In the previous lecture or previous video of this playlist, we have discussed how to create an AWS account and why AWS is better than other server providers and other service providers because AWS is very much cost effective and uh, very cheaper than other alternatives, and it provides a lot of services, not only just website hosting or domain purchase, but it also provides some various basic things like email services, bulk email services, other it is also has some like Python running platforms services, which are very useful in promoting your business and to get a growth in your business. So in this lecture, we will be learning how to create a website hosting server using Amazon with as much as low cost as possible. Actually, in AWS EC2 services, that is EC2 is a server based service in which you can create your own server in whichever operating system you want, and it has a lot of different versions. Like if you want to have a 1 GB RAM and 1 GB, one virtual CPU server, you can choose that. If you want a bigger server than that, like if you want a 2 GB RAM with two virtual CPUs, you can go with that. And in AWS, there is a free version available as well. So we will be learning how to create an EC2 server of free, which is free for everyone. So we will be learning how to create and configure an EC2 AWS server, and we will be learning how to configure an AWS EC2 server, which is free. I will be logging in my account, AWS account, everything cool. And once I will be logged in, I'll just come back and we will talk that we will be creating and configuring an EC2 server using Ubuntu operating system, and we will be installing PHP and a lot of things and lot of other basic requirements for our server to run in the next lecture. But we will be seeing how to create an EC2 instance or server and to launch it. In this lecture, we will be seeing how to launch an EC2 server instance. I'll be right back once I'll be logged in. And here we are. I have successfully logged in to my AWS console, and now we want to run or create an EC2 instance, which EC2 is a server providing service by Amazon. There are many more server provider services in EC2 in AWS, but we will be learning how to create and launch our EC2 instance, which is basically a server in which you can host your websites or web applications, even of larger size and larger capabilities or some smaller size. So EC2 free tier, EC2 have no free EC2 server. First, yes, if I just want to launch an instance, I am going to click here. First, first you have to come to an EC2, then instances and launch an instance is your thing. So obviously, number of instances I want to launch is one. Obviously, if you want to launch more instances or more servers, you can do it, or you can increase the number of instances here and just write any of the name what which you want to assign to your server or instance right now. So I will be assigning a simple name, simply EC2 server. So, the EC2 server. Okay. So, I always prefer and suggest that you should be application or OS in Amazon. So I always suggest that we should be using Ubuntu as an operating system for our instance. And as you can see, here it is, Ubuntu Server 24 LTS. Always choose LTS because it is the latest stable version. And this Ubuntu version is totally free to available. So yeah, I am here and confirm changes. So I am going to go with the free tier eligible free version of the Ubuntu, which is going to be free, and instance type. Okay, so here are some instances type in your region, and you can check it by here. And if you this T2 micro is free, which has the capability of one virtual CPU and 1 GB memory. So this is a free, and right now I'm going to configure this free server EC2 instance, and I am going to launch it. I'm not going to go with any other paid instance type right now, which are like this. These are some large, which have two virtual CPUs, 8 GB memory, A2 dot medium, two virtual CPUs, 4 GB memory. So these are some various upgraded instance types, which are going to be, for which you have to pay more, but which are better in performance. So T2 Micro is the one that I am going to configure right now just to show you how to launch an instance, EC2 instance in your AWS console. To show you this, I'm continuing it with T2 Micro. Okay, so key pair. So key pair is very important. I have already created an EC2 instance earlier for which I have used this key pair. I can also use the same key which I have been using in another EC2 instance for this one now as well. I can use one key for two or three or four instances, but I don't want to use the same. But to show you guys how to create a new pair page, we can create a new key pair. Enter like three EC2 server key. So here I have just right up here. You have to be RSA and .pem. Hit PPF and it will download you the key. So here we have our EC2 instance key, which is attached. This is the key which has been attached to our instance. And this key is going to be very useful for us to connect with our instance or our server. And we will be using this key in our next lecture. And I will be showing you how we can connect to our server using this key using FileZilla or Putty, which is a terminal based uh, software which is used to connect to our server. So I will be showing it into you I will be showing this in the next lecture, and we are not going to change anything here. And yeah, allows SSH traffic from allows HTTPS traffic from the internet, allow HTTP. So always remember to choose both of these options. And as you can see, free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB of EBS general purpose SSD or magnetic storage. So for those who are using the free tier services, they can get free 30 GB of EBS general purpose SSD or magnetic storage, which is going to be attached to their instance. And you can here check whether there is no. Okay, so up to 30 GB, it is free. And if you go beyond 30 GB, it will be chargeable. And as I guess I don't have any free tier eligibility because I have used this account from a very long time. But if you will create a new fresh account and you will go with all these type of instance type and Ubuntu uh, version, and you will be getting 750 hours of P2 micro free in your area, and you will be getting it this basic server at zero cost. Maybe you have to pay for some taxes, but there is no cost of this server. So launch instance, we have done all the things that we wanted, and if we will click on launch instance, it will create our instance and it will launch our instance. So right now our instance, there it is, the EC2 server. It is being instance status pending. So maybe it will take some time. In your case as well, it will take 5 to 10 minutes to launch it and to make it run in a, to make its status running. So here, as you can see, it has been running now. So right now our instance is running, and this is going to be done after some time. It will be taking some time to check the status of our instance. So once our status has been checked by AWS, I will be right. Just hold on tight. Okay. So right now, as you can see, our new launched instance status has been checked, and it says that 2 out of 2 status has been checked and are passed. So that means our instance is running and is very healthy, is in a healthy condition. So you will say that our server is launched and now we can just connect with our server, and we can do some installations of some software which are necessary for hosting our server, hosting our websites over the server. But not before that, I want to show you something else, because right now we have a public IPv4 address, which is this one. But if as soon as I stop this instance, like I have selected this instance and I will stop this instance, you can see that right now we have a public IP address of 3111.186.58. I will copy this address somewhere here in my sticky notes. And so, like here, if I just if I just copy this IP address, here it is, the IP address. And right now our instance is not stopped, right? Yeah, it is stopped. And if I just go on to the stopped instance, I will again start it. It is going to the public IPv4 address that we have been assigned earlier is not going to be the same. That means our IPv4 address, public IPv4 address, is going to change again and again whenever I will stop my instance of server and whenever I'm going to start it again. So this is going to create a very big issue. Like right now, we have gotten 43.43.205.140.74, which is not similar to the IPv4 address assigned earlier. So this is not a permanent IPv4 address that is attached with our instance right now, and it is a temporary public IPv4 address, which is going to be changed every time when our server is stopped, and again uh, if our server is stopped and we make it again running in a running condition, because we just get our server back into a running state. And this is very disappointing, and we will not be able to connect to our server again and again, because IPv4 address is important. So what we are going to do, we are going to attach a elastic IP. Like we are going to get an permanent IP address from AWS, and we are going to attach it with our instance. So, like you can see, I have got an elastic IP address. We used to say elastic IP address because it doesn't change. You will be getting a permanent IP address using this. So as you can see that I have just purchased, or I have just applied an elastic IP address earlier for my other server, which has now been allocated and been attached to the earlier server. So to attach a new IP address to our new server, we are going to allocate IP address, which means we are going to create an IP address. We want another IP address. So here it is. We got an IP address 13126.116.5. So we can just rename it free EC2 server IP address. Okay, I have just given it some name. And now what I want to do, I want, like as you can see, we have 2 IP addresses here right now. The first one is allocated and allocation ID has been given. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to attach this actions and release elastic IP address will make it release. I will not be holding this IP address. This release means is associate elastic IP address. This is the one that I want to select. So I have just clicked on associate elastic IP address, and to I want to resource type. Choose the type from which you want to connect it. I want to connect it with instance, and which instance? The one that I've created right now, free EC2 server. This is the instance that I want to create it, and this is the instance with which I want to allocate or which I want to associate this IP address, elastic IP address and choose the private IP address. So I will be choosing the one option that will be assigned here, and this is the private IP address of our instance, of our new created instance, and allow this IP address to be reassociated. That means we can after if we don't want this instance, if we remove this instance, but even after that, I can reassociate this IP address with another instance if I wanted to. So click on that and associate. Once you associate this with our instance, you will be noticing that our instance will be using this IP address from now on, which is so now our instance, 3 EC2 server instance, will be using this IP address, not a like as you can see here, it is showing me an older IP address, but right now if I just refresh this page, we will be noticing the new allocated IP address which have here. Yeah. So now 13.126.116.51 is our new public IPv4 address. And even if I just stop this instance, I have just stopped this instance, is going to be stopped. And yes, here we have a connect button, which will be which from here also we can connect to a server. If we want to connect to a server over the terminal, SSH based terminal, we can do it from here as well, and from other software as well, like Putty and some other software which provide SSH terminal connection to your instance. So you can just go here and connect to your EC2 instance server as well. But I prefer being connected it using FileZilla or Putty. FileZilla is used for uploading or downloading files from your server and for the management of the files over the server. And Putty is an SSH based terminal platform which connects you to your instance from where you can install some softwares, from where you can remove some basically a terminal, a command based terminal, just to give some commands to your Ubuntu based instance. So once it is stopped, and I will just again start this instance, as you can see that I have just stopped it and again started it. But the public IPv4 address is going to be the same. It is not going to get changed now. And that is why we have attached an elastic IP address with our instance. I hope you guys understand all of this, what I have just what I've just taught you in this lecture. And yeah, even if like it is in the pending state, once it is going to be in once the instance state is going to be running as you can see in the upper instance. Once it is going to be in the running state, even then the IP address will remain same. The IP address that we have just noted here. Yeah. So now we have attached a permanent IP address to our instance, which is going to which is going to be helping in us in connecting to our server over the over a long period of time. Even if our server gets stops in between, we just stop it for some other reason and start it again. Even then, the IP address is going to be remain same. That is 113.126.116.51. Hope you guys understand this lecture, and this is a very simple lecture in which we have learned how to create an EC2 instance and how to launch it and how to connect an elastic IP address to our EC2 freshly launched EC2 server. Thank you for watching. please like and subscribe and stay connected for this for more stuff like this.